Hey, my lovelies, it's me, author Alexandria Infante, here with another review for you today. So, just a little heads up. So, this weekend I will be posting a roster of all the authors that we have. That we've interviewed, I mean, not interviewed, but reviewed so far. So just so you can see who they are, where you can find their links, because that's, even though I said it in the reviews, I'm going to post it so you can see it as well. And that way, if you want to actually go out and get one of their books, then you totally can, because you will have the links right there. And then this weekend, Saturday, I will be uploading, but it won't be a review, so I'll just let it be a surprise to you guys. You get to see what I'm doing. And then also, just a little heads up too, we're doing contest over on my side too. And then this week, basically, we have another running for a gift card. So basically, all you have to do on this video here is give me a shout out. Say hey, say something, so I know that you guys are actually watching the channel. So just down there in the comments section, say hey, Allie, or whatever, just so I know that you guys are still out there with us. And we're doing the same over on my side, but actually I'm giving away gift cards and books, so you can check out that side too. It's Alexandria Infante, MC Latina Alexandria Infante, author Alexandria Infante, or just type in Alexandria Infante. And also you can find links for my books and all that kind of stuff on my site as well. So tonight's author is Rosetta Bloom, and this is a really historical romance. Remember, I told you guys that I really love historical romances, and I really wanted to see. I mean, we haven't gotten any submissions for historical romances. So all our historical romance authors out there, come on, send them in to me. Come on, come on, come on. I want to read them, whether they're IR, AA, Caucasian, I don't care, interracial, multicultural, whatever. Just send them in, because I write historical romance myself. And I really love reading them, especially if it's done in the actual diction, because she did this in the diction of the time period in which it's written. So if you are doing your historical romance like that, oh my goodness, I do a little segment on my channel called Snippet Sundays. And so this Sunday I'm doing... it's my books, though, where I just basically read you a snippet of, one of my books. And then this Sundays, I'm doing my 19 Crimes. So pop over there and listen to that. Check me out. But anyway, so tonight our author is, like I said, she is Rosetta Bloom. And the book is called The Princess, the Pea, and the Night of Passion. So basically, it is a repurposed. That's the word my middle child loves to use on the constant whenever it's something done over. So it is a repurposed fairy tale, or I like to say usurped. So basically, she took the old Grimm's tale, The Princess and the Pea, and she redid it. And she redid it well. So, basically, remember I said I was going to take notes for every book I review now. So, I know what I'm talking about. Or, not so much that I know what I'm talking about, but so we won't, yeah, you guys know. Anyway, so... like I said, it is a historical romance, but it's an erotic historic romance. And when I say erotic, I mean erotic. Um, Basically, Prince Richard, his mother, the queen, wants to find him a bride. She has been trying to find him a bride for like forever and a day. The problem is that Prince Richard doesn't want to marry any of the princesses that his mother keeps bringing to him. So he's like, I'm not feeling her. So he finds them boring. He finds them just like stuck up, and so he doesn't want to marry them. He's just like, no, this is not my cuppa. And so the mom, she continues though. And so one night he's thinking about the scullery maid, or I mean the scullery maid, or the groomsman, or the butler's daughter. It's raining outside. He doesn't want to go outside, and so he's wondering if the butler's daughter is still in the house, and so or the castle, I should say. And so he basically he's going on a hunt for the butler, because he wants something more than food. And so he finds the butler in the kitchen, and he hears him talking to two women. And so he's like, and the woman is like, yes, I'm a princess, blah 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 blah, I'm a Altifour. And she's like, was that how she pronounced it? Just one sec. I want to make sure. Oh, Amira. She's like, I'm an Amira, and I'm cold, I'm hungry, it's wet, and we just wanted to know if we could come in for shelter for a little while. And so the butler, Lars, is like basically saying no, you're basically, because he thinks they're peasants, and it's like, you look like peasants, blah 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 blah. No, you can't come in. This is the castle, blah 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 blah, right? And so Prince Richard goes and he hears this banter between them, and then finally he's like, move, or let them in, blah blah blah. And as he lets them in, he's like totally enamored with the main girl. And so her name is Amira Twaflik. She is Persian, and so he like looks her down, up and down. He's just thinking scrumdiddlyumptious, basically. And then so they take so he invites them in. He tells her that she needs to put on dry clothing, all this kind of stuff. And so basically the thing of it is that this is The Princess and the Pea, but it is usurped into an erotic romance. So I can't really go any further than that because this is a PG channel. And so the whole thing is that she's running from her father. So I can tell you guys this much. She's running from her father, and what it is that she is in an arranged marriage, and her father wants her to marry this old, just from the way that it's written, funky, a sultan that's like 20 years, 30 years older than her, because he wants the connections with the sultan. And so if she would be like his 16th wife, she would never be, basically visited. And so her thing is that she wants to life, she wants love, she wants happiness. Okay, her mother, the same thing happened to her mother, where her grandfather tried his best. He basically he told the sultan, the king, that she was she was betrothed, that she was this, she was that, and the grandfather tried everything he could do to get it to where his daughter, her mother, wouldn't have to marry the sultan. But in the end, basically, the sultan had his people go around and tell them, if anyone agrees to take her hand, then I'll kill them, basically. And so the mom wind up being forced to marry the sultan. And so she had her. And then now it's like the same thing is about to be repeated again. And she doesn't want that. So what she does is she takes her maidservant and she runs away. Now, she had been to his country. She doesn't really say his kingdom, what kingdom it is that that she traveled to, but she had been in this kingdom before, and so she remembered it, and she's just like, oh hey, let's go there, so basically let's escape and let's go there. And so they go there, and then that's when she comes to the castle, and she pretends like she's first she was gonna do the peasant thing, but then she figured, we're about to freeze to death, and it's cold, it's snowing, so I better just say who I am. And so the whole thing is that the when she escaped, the king or the sultan sent his men after her, and so the men are like combing all over this village and little kingdom looking for her. And so when she meets his mother, like they change clothes, they then they go to dinner, and then the mother's like the queen is talking to her, and she's like blah 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 blah, but she's doing it like really snidely and snippetly. And then when that night when she goes to go to bed, they lock her in the bedroom, and then of course there's this stack of mattresses there, and then she's like, how the heck am I supposed to get up there and sleep? And then it's like when she goes to look for sleepwear, and there's like a dressing gown like over on the windowsill, and so she goes over there, she picks it up, and she's like, what the heck is this? Because it's probably like their version of a teddy. And so she picks it up, she's like, what the heck is this? And then someone says, I think you would look delightful in that. And then when she turns around, it's the prince, and she has no clue how he got into her bedroom. But anyway, so that is where I'm going to have to stop, because everything else in this book is very, very risque. Now, the things that I loved about this book is, one, it, like I said, it's historical. And I love, love, love historical romances. And I love the fact that she also stayed with, I don't have my contacts in, so you guys have to see my broke glasses because they come tomorrow. Anyway, as I was saying, and I love, love, love the fact that she did it in the actual, 18th century verbiage, or 17th, because if I'm not mistaken, I think most of the Grimm's tales were done like in the late 16th hundreds and the early 1700s, maybe even down to the late 1700s. And so that's why you get Cinderella, you get most of those. And I would like really recommend, like, as the actual literature teacher, I would totally, totally recommend that you read the actual Brothers Grimm, the real fairy tales, for all of these fairy tales that are, that you watch with Disney. Disney is the clean version. It is the sanitated version, so you can actually enjoy them. But as adults, I think every adult should read them in their actual true form. So if you haven't read Cinderella, Snow White, any of those, check them out. Check them out. Some of them are grim because, come on, they're called the Brothers Grimm. The fact that Cinderella actually chopped off her toe, the sisters chopped off her toes, and the other one chopped off her heels to fit that shoe. So basically, if you're a horror buff or you like stuff like that, check them out because they're really good and they're classic tales. And I really love when authors usurp those tales, like we did Siren Allen's Cinderella and the Wolf. I really love that book too because she took Cinderella and she, just basically made her own fairy tale. And so that's the same thing that Miss Bloom did. And she did it really well. I loved it. And I love the fact that she made the character Amira, she made her Persian. So that's like, we see all of these as children growing up of color. Whether you're Asian, Latina, black, whatever. We grow up all the time and we only see the white face put on these fairy tales. So when you see an African American Cinderella, or you see a Persian princess who basically took over the Princess and the Pea, I mean, it's nice for us. I mean, I know Caucasian people have an issue with it because it's always like movies or whatever. It's like, why do you need to make it black? It's like, or why do you need to make it black? It's not even about that. It's about encompassing everyone. There are character. I think the Princess and the Pea was like the perfect example because no one knows what she was. We're just assuming that she was Caucasian. So I think her being able to do that was awesome. And then I'm telling you, this book was a hot. We talking like a hot. That I was reading it with the earphones on because my daughter she wasn't feeling well today, so she stayed home from school. And normally, what I will do in the afternoons is like when I'm not, like I'm off today, so no one's home. It would normally just be me. But because my daughter was home today, I had to like use the earphones. But normally, what I do is when I read your guys' books, I put them on the Kindle, because the Kindle now has actual. Where you could click it and it will just read the book for you. So that's what I do. And I put it on speaker and then like I clean up the house, watch this or do whatever while I'm listening to your book. So, so today I couldn't do that. I had to actually wear the earphones because it's very, very, very risque. So there's the C word, the D word, the B word, all kinds of words, which, I mean, I personally don't use those in historicals. I don't use purple prose because I freaking hate purple prose, but I don't use the actual C, P, or D word. Me personally, I don't know. I just kind of feel kind of strange about that in historical, which we know they did it. We know they use profanity. Like I don't have an issue seeing profanity in a historical because come on, that's where it came from. I mean, basically the word "fu" derived from the 12th century, and the crazy part is monks started it, and then it rotated. Actually, it was between France. It's like the circa is 1300s because it's between Franciscan monks and France themselves. Because basically, during the war, when the French would capture a British soldier or a British fighter, warrior, whatever, what they would do is they would chop off his middle finger because the Brits would use bows to shoot them. And so they would chop off his middle finger and then he couldn't pluck the bow. So basically the Brits learned how to use the ring finger and then they would pull it and say, pluck you. Anyway, I thought that was hysterically funny. I love tidbits like that. I mean, I teach them in class, but anyway. And so I like the fact that she used the vernacular of that time period because like I don't know, for some reason if I read a historical and it doesn't have the vernacular that it should have for that time period, then it kind of throws me off. I remember when I first came out with my own book, A Lad's Trousers, way back when, I didn't know how to do it. And so it wasn't done very well. And this is why I'm saying, we all can learn. We all have room to grow. So when someone reviews your book and you don't like it, you can't get upset with them. But anyway, and so I didn't know how to do it exactly. I mean, I tried it, but I kind of failed at it. And so I had a reader send me a message. Awesome lady. She was like, I loved your book, but I would have loved it even more if it would have been in the vernacular. And then she was like, I see on your site that you're a professor. Just think of reading Jane Austen. And I was like, and then it hit me. Exactly. And so that's pretty much what I did. So my books, I I don't write like Jane Austen because mine are more risque, but it's like put myself into that vernacular and I put myself into that time period. And so when I'm writing, what I am thinking is usually like when I'm writing historical is usually Jane Austen. I love BBC. Pride and Prejudice, something like that. I'm forever watching something from BBC. So, and actually, I even do the accent. So this Sunday, check out my channel because I'm going to be reading England's 19 Crimes, and I'm going to do it in an accent. Anyway, so yeah, this book was awesome, and I want you guys to go out and get it. Once again, if you read erotic romance. Now, if you don't, or if you're a little iffy about it, this is not going to be your cuppa because this is erotic romance. I mean, she didn't pull any punches. She's on that Kanisha Knowles level. I don't know if you guys have read anything from Kanisha. So it would be like Kanisha, Siren, and Kenya are all. Those are like the ones where you're just like, oh, Lord Jesus, what was she doing? Or you put the book down. You put the book down and you're just like, okay, I think I'm not going to read anymore. Or people are just looking at you like, I've had like guy friends at work be like, oh my God, what are you reading? Because your face is like really flushed right now. It's like, excuse me, I was over the stove. Stuff like that. Anyway. So, this is an awesome book. You guys go out and get it. And once again, the author's name is Rosetta Bloom, and it is a historical romance, and it's basically a re-envisioning of The Princess and the Pea. So, go out and get this because this book is good. And it's very hot, hot, hot. So, if I had to put this on a sizzle meter, this would be a 12. A serious 12. And plus, it's Princess and the Pea. Come on, everybody's read The Princess and the Pea, and she re-envisioned it. So you have to read it, especially because of the fact that she's running from her father, and her father is a sultan. Like a rich, rich, rich sultan. So, check it out. Rosetta Bloom, The Princess and the Pea and a Night of Passion. And it's at Amazon.com. And you know what? I think it might be a freebie. I think it is a freebie because she's not on our roster. And so what happens is a lot of times Jen will send me, she sends me books when, because like some of the days, okay, when you see me doing one of my housemates or a book that I haven't said that I'm going to do, it's a book that Jen has sent me because unfortunately we don't have a romance for that night. So we have tons of regular fiction. We got a whole roster of them, basically, like tomorrow we'll be doing author Cintel Smith's call letters. So we have tons of regular reads, at least for the next 2 weeks. And then I'm going to need some more. But right now I only have one other romance author. So if you know any other romance authors, please, please, please send them our way. And then week after next, I will probably, if I haven't gotten enough more, if I haven't gotten enough again by then I may actually revamp because a lot of authors, like Ophelia Bell, which I really enjoyed her book, Indy Jones, I loved her book too. They've offered to send us another copy of another title. And so you guys know, I'm like, yes, girl, send it. But I want to try to let everyone get in, before I start doubling up on authors because, hey, I'm ready to read them. But I'm going to go ahead and let us get some more authors because I do have another author. I have an author for Monday and Tuesday, and then hopefully I just got like 3 clicks earlier. So Jen is going to more than likely send me some more tonight. So basically, just tell all your romance author friends to come on by, stop by. I'm not evil. I'm not going to hurt you. I am going to be as gentle as I can in reviewing works because I know how it feels myself to basically get a hurtful review. So this is why I try not to. This is why if the book is not my cuppa, I send it off. I give it to Jen or I give it to Erica because we all have different tastes when it comes to reviewing and book reading. Like Jen is a freak for like seriously gore horror. Not me. I mean, I like the surface stuff. Like Jen is like Saw, the Haunting of Connecticut. I'll be like, in the name of Jesus, I rebuke you. No, that is not me. I don't read that. I'm sorry. I think the closest I've read to that was a Clive Owen. I mean a Clive Barker book, and it opened with "My name is so and so," and he was a demon, and it was like I was like, oh, wait, okay, I can do it. I can read this. I can read this. I just pray when I'm done. I grew up Catholic. Come on, I was in church Monday. I was in church Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday. I went to Catholic school. I went to catechism. So my parents, my grandmother always had me in church as growing up. And so when I see anything that has to do with God and the devil, and I think back to the fact that I was a kid in the 70s and 80s, and that's when all of the freaking scary movies had that like you just feel, and it wasn't so much the scene that was scaring you, but the music itself. So yeah, all that pure like horror like that, no, that's a Jen. That's not me. And then Erica is romance. She loves contemporary, but she only reads contemporary romance. She doesn't read paranormal, historical. She doesn't read any of that. She just reads straight out, women's literature and contemporary romance. Now, me, I will read all of it. I can read historical. I can read contemporary. I can read light horror. I can read suspense. I freaking love sci-fi and paranormal, like fae, vampires, werewolves, shapeshifters, demons, all that kind of stuff in the paranormal realm. There's a difference between a paranormal demon and a horror demon. That's two different demons. So, I'm more of the paranormal demon. That's where you're finding me, okay? Because y'all not making me not go to sleep tonight. So, basically, those are the genres that we are going to do, and we need more paranormal romance, like romance, whatever your cuppa is for romance. We would like more of that. So if you are a romance author out there, please, please, please submit to us because we want to read your stuff. We want to put you out there. Yeah, we had our little incident with the other author, but it's like we strive to respect everyone. We strive to treat everyone equal and treat everyone with respect. So basically, I feel like that's over and done with. And, this will be the last video where I even make mention of what happened because, I'm sure Miss Rose has gone on her way. She's doing her thing. We're all doing our thing. So we just going to leave it at that. And so send in those submissions. Basically, if it's, like I said, if it's horror, if it's straight up horror and paranormal, send it to Jen. If it's straight contemporary, women's lit, send it to Erica. If it's if it's paranormal, historical, paranormal, not horror. Paranormal, historical, contemporary, sci-fi, um, whatever else is out there besides Christian and nonfiction. Send it to me. Because Erica and Jen are still going to read for me. And so I may continue to read their reviews. That depends on how I feel about that. And whether Jen really wants. I mean, I'm going to try to coerce her to come on the channel because I want you guys to see her. And I want you to see what type of person Jen is. And once you see her, she is not the lion type. But anyway, that's I was going to mention that again. But I'm going to try to coerce her to come on the channel. Because plus I want to have like the banter back and forth. I'm coercing my daughter to come on this Sunday because Sundays we do, you guys know, we do YA. So I want her to come on and do a review with me. Fingers crossed. And then Saturday, my middle daughter and I are actually doing something for the channel too. So you guys will get to see my chaps, as country folks say. You see my chaps. And that's pretty much it. So once again, the book was called The Princess and the Pea and the Night of Passion. And it's by author Rosetta Bloom. And you can find it at Amazon.com. And I believe it's a freebie. So there is no reason why you guys should not check this out. Because even if you don't like it, you get it for free. So pop over there, check out her book. And basically, if you are trying to be entered for the contest, for the gift card, remember, leave me a shout out down there. I don't care what it is that you say. Just say it down there. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow. I love ya. Tomorrow.